Hi everybody, so today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a braid hairstyle that I figured out based on Katniss's braid from the Hunger Games. I start out with the normal braid, wrapping my hair around like so and braiding here, and then I'm going to do a cool coil with it in the back of my head that looks really intricate and pretty and soft and romantic and everything, but it's really quick also, and it tends to stay up all day too. So what I have starting out here is one of these kinds of clips, maybe a little longer than an inch. You can get them really cheap at CVS. And then I also have two of these. Sorry, my mom's making lunch downstairs. Two of these tiny clips. I don't know, can you see them against my hair? Yeah. That are just like the size of a large spider, I guess. Well, large to me. I'm terrified of spiders, but I'm just going to be using these to pin the coil in place in the back of my head. And I hope this turns out okay because my hair is kind of dark. But I'm going to bring it up close so you can see the detail in the back, okay? Alright, so I'm going to start out with the Dutch braid, which is like an inversion of a French braid. And I'm going to take 3 pieces on the side of my head here. And you can vary the size of these as well. You can start out with just a little bit on top here, and then gather in the rest later, or however you want to do that. I'm going to take a little bit from the top here, and since I have layered hair, oh, by the way, you won't want to be doing this with hair much shorter than mine. It comes to about here. Since I have layered hair, I'm going to just make sure that I have a bit of longer pieces here to start out with, and they don't have to be all that big. So I have my 3 pieces, and when you French braid, you're going to start by taking one piece over the next, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take the middle piece and tuck it, hold on, I have a mess here. I'm going to take the middle piece, and instead of tucking it under one of the outside pieces, I'm going to take it over, like so. And then again here, middle piece goes over the outer piece to make a Dutch braid. And it's sort of like an inside-out French braid, if that helps at all. So now that I've done that a couple of times with just those pieces, like a normal braid, I'm going to pick up another piece from right here onto one of the pieces, and I've got the other 2 right here. And then this piece is going to go, over that one. I'm going to grab that. I don't know if you can see it real well with my hair. And then I'm going to take from this side all the way around, or sort of like this. And you want it pretty high up there because you don't want the hair on this side to fall, because pretty much nobody is flattered by a hairstyle that's really tight like this, except Martha Jones from Doctor Who, because she's just that pretty. But anyway, you take a part from right here and pull it up tight against here. And then you're going to, again, grab this piece, make sure that's all tight in there, because you can kind of get weird loops if you don't make sure the pieces are tight. I don't know how to explain it. So you have another little braid, and then you take another piece like this. I'm going to assume you have a little bit of experience French or Dutch braiding on yourself already, because that's where the main part of this comes from. So I'm going to just keep doing that down the back of my head and picking up pieces. And while you're doing this, your arms might get a little bit tired. So what I do when that happens, I mean, you can't let go of the braid obviously, but you're just going to let an arm hang for a moment and then change over sides while you're holding the rest of it right back here. And the next piece I'm going to want to do is right here. So I'm going to keep picking up, and you see how the braid is sort of going across the side of my head here. And we're going to want to bring it down to my right shoulder here, just like Katniss is in the movie. And then pick up another piece. I do sort of big pieces on each section because I like to get through it kind of quickly. And it doesn't really matter a whole lot, but if you want a really more intricate, delicate style, you can pull smaller pieces. It'll take a little bit longer, but The whole thing is so quick anyway, I think you can afford a little extra time unless you're like really in a rush for it. And so I'm gathering up the last couple bits here, sort of on the right side of the nape of my neck. And voila, the last little piece. So I have here this part. I'm just going to take it all in one hand and bring it around like this. And I know it's really kind of tight right now and a little bit bumpy on top, but I'm going to fix that near the end, okay? And if you have bangs, you just leave those out here like she does, or straight across. That's fine too. So let's see. I have the 3 pieces like this, and I'm just going to keep braiding down like it was a normal side braid now, all the way to the end. And mine is going to have a few spiky pieces sticking out because I have sort of choppy layers at this length. But if you don't have layers, yours may not do that. Or you can always pin those in with bobby pins after if they bother you, but honestly in the coil at the end of that, it isn't going to make the biggest difference in the world. Can you see that? I'm kind of short with this camera. Alright, so I'm just going to take it right down to the bottom. We're not going to worry about a tail here, the layers. Just let them fall out as they will. And so I've got it right down to the very end here, and I'm just going to keep braiding it away because you're going to want all those pieces really tight in together. And it doesn't matter like all these parts that you see. Those are not going to show up really against the back of your head. Okay, so I've got this Katniss braid, and this is your normal Katniss braid now. This is how you do a Katniss braid. So if that's all you want to do, you can just cut it off here and tie it off here. But for my new coil style, I'm going to pinch the end of this, and I'm going to use this bigger clip now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick this up and coil it like so. Now if you have longer hair, you want to make a bigger coil around and just keep going in until you reach the end and then pin it there. But mine just reaches one little coil here. Tuck the end in under the braid. You see that? Okay? And I'm going to sort of bury the clip into there. Try to grab as much as possible, but sort of leave it under. You can use a smaller clip or bobby pins if you don't want it so obvious, but it doesn't really matter to me. Plus, I don't have any bobby pins right now. I don't know where they all go. It's like pencils or reading glasses, you know. So I'm going to take another one of these little clips. It doesn't really matter which color you use. I just happen to have mismatched ones today. And I'm going to grab a bit from under this side of the coil and pin it in there, just to grab hold of it so it doesn't sag on that side. And then the other pin, if you have any loose ends, like say I have this part, that's what I'm going to use the other pin for here. Sometimes with a braid like this, you may get a couple saggy parts here that kind of loop, and that's what you would use that for, and tuck it up under here. So I'm just going to wind up that bit of hair and stick it under here and clip it under to where you can't even see. And this is the finished hairstyle, unless you may want a bit more volume up here. You may want to even it out some or pull pieces higher here. And this is just one time through. It turns out a tiny bit different each time. But you can pull pieces higher, you can smooth it out, add volume, whatever you want to do with it from there. But this is the basic idea. And that's it. It's pretty much good for the most casual to even formal events. If you hide the pins a little better and neaten it up, then it's perfectly fine for a dance or red carpet or whatever you want to do. Alright, thanks. Have fun with it, girls. Bye.